The Maritime Coast Guard Agency recently brought in a new piece of legislation which means that every independent lifeboat has to be brought up to the same standard as the lifeboats in the RNLI. This means that every independent lifeboat organisation has to fund a new boat at the cost of nearly £65,000. The Nith Inshore Rescue was founded in Glencape-Lindon-Preece in 1981. As they're an independent lifeboat charity, they rely solely on donations. This documentary will be investigating how they are raising funds for the new boat and why the local community feel that they should be supporting the local lifeboat charities in and around Scotland. It's a typically cold winter's morning here on the Solway coast, and behind me is one of the fastest flowing tidal seas in Britain. Today I'll be going out with the Nith Inshore Rescue crew on one of the routine exercises. I'll be asking them how they're coping in this tough economic climate. The Nith Inshore Rescue is an independent lifeboat charity serving the Dumfries area. They are based in the estuary of the River Nith. Their role is to provide a voluntary search and rescue service covering the estuary of the River Nith together with other rivers and lochs in the area. Every RNLI lifeboat is currently fitted with an inversion-proofed engine, which means that if the boat were to capsize, the engine would automatically restart. They're also fitted with self-righting technology, which means again if the boat were to capsize, it would self-right itself within a few seconds. Now this lifeboat I'm on today is not fitted with this technology. However, the Coast Guard Agency are bringing in a new code of practice, which means every independent lifeboat will need to be brought up to the standard of those in the RNLI. Yes, from a safety point of view this is very good, but at a cost of nearly £65,000 per boat, some of these independent lifeboats may struggle to cope with the costs. There are several independent lifeboat charities up and down Scotland who will be struggling to cope with the cost of buying this new boat. It is as a result of more health and safety regulations being brought in that these independent lifeboat charities are having to fork out nearly £65,000. I spoke to the chairman of the Nith Inshore Rescue, Wally Wright, and asked him to explain a little bit more about the regulation.
The MCA, the Maritime Coast Guard Agency, are bringing out a code of practice where every independent boat has to be brought up to the same standard as RNLI. Yes, we are one of the very few lifeboats in Scotland that are independent.
How much do you rely on donations coming from the likes of pubs like the Steamboat Inn in Carnochan?
Well, quite a lot, because some of these tins bring in just under £100. Well, you can imagine the fuel that we use. That's quite a big saving when we're out in a call out. Even some very small donations that people go by and just hand in a fiver or something like that, it all mounts up. I mean, this boat has been running for 10 years, and the smaller boat before that, we've never had any problem. But because of the new code of practice, we have to be bringing it up to more ideal conditions as RNLI.
So does he feel that this new regulation is necessary?
I think it is necessary. I think it does open people's eyes to the actual requirements of having a rescue boat, because there are some areas where smaller boats aren't really fully equipped, and when that happens you end up by having two casualties rather than one, people going out to rescue the rescuers.
Yeah.
So we're best having up the best equipment as possible. And
Rebecca here's doing our charity skydive for you. What do you think about that?
I think she's very, very brave. Certainly something I would do. If she survives, she can always come back and tell us about it.
The Nith Inshore Rescue relies on organisations such as the Steamboat Inn, along with members of the public, to donate money in order to keep their charity going. I'm here at the Steamboat Inn in Carnochan, one of the establishments who fully supported the work of the Nith Inshore Rescue since it first began. I'll be speaking to Rebecca Hamilton tonight, who's carrying out the skydive in the coming days in order to raise money for the charity. I'll also be speaking to one of the regulars of the Steamboat Inn to see why he feels it's important to continue his support towards the local Nith Inshore Rescue. Do you feel it's important for you to raise money for such a valuable charity?
Well, I've been brought up in this area and I've seen over the years the work that these guys put in, and I've known a few people who have had to use them over the years as well, and I just think that for such a small community, a charity like this is so important to raise the funds for. I mean, the work that these guys do is voluntary, and the support of the community means a lot to them, and not only the Nith Inshore Rescue, but all the independent lifeboats around Scotland.
So Rebecca, can you tell me how you're feeling now towards the skydive, which is only really 24 hours away?
Well, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm excited about doing it, but I think on the day I'll be really nervous, but I'm certainly going to go through with it. It's something that I think's worthwhile doing.
It is clear that the Nithin Shore Rescue rely heavily on the donations given by local people in the community. They hope that other independent lifeboats receive the same generosity from people in their community. I spoke to Dougie Scott, a regular customer of the Steamboat Inn, and asked him why he feels it's important to support the charity.
I feel that the local lifeboat is a good thing to support, because I can remember back to when there was a lot of wildfowling in the area and there was a few incidents of people getting stuck in the mud, and the local lifeboat is able to come into shallow water and effect rescues for people when they're in precarious situations. I think it says a lot for the people that live in the area that they've been able to support that boat for a good number of years now, and I think this will be the third boat that they've had, and obviously people feel that it's worthwhile or they wouldn't have the support that they've got.
What do you think about the fact that it's £60,000 for this new boat that they have to get in?
Well, I think it's just another incident of health and safety has gone mad, but the long and the short it is, if we can raise the money for it, then it's got to be safer for the boys that use the boat, even although they're non-paid. We're used to seeing the boat out practising, and you know, the guys on exercise, and you've got the security knowing that it's always there, and it's like everything else, I suppose, that you don't miss it until it's not there, and as soon as something happened, you know, we're in a very dangerous stretch of water, and inevitably things occur from time to time, and the RNLI boat is too far away to respond. So I think that you know, it wouldn't really be until something happened there was an incident that people realise how much you would miss the boat.
And what do you feel about Rebecca here doing the skydive?
I'm delighted for her to do it. It's, I would like to be there to see it, but certainly no falling her down.
It's a beautiful morning here in Glenothes where Rebecca's going to be doing her jump. As you can see, the airfield's behind me here, and it's a perfect day for doing the skydive. I think she's getting a little bit nervous now, but we'll see how she does. So how is Rebecca feeling before the jump?
Nervous, starting to get a bit more nervous, but really excited and can't wait to get it done.
It was make or break time now for Rebecca as she made her way to the plane. Of course, Rebecca had no doubts about going through with the jump, as she knew it was for a great cause. The Nithin Shore Rescue have been lucky enough to receive a generous donation of £25,000 from the Order of St John, which has enabled them to fund the new boat. However, the real worry is, how will the other lifeboats around the country raise the funds? How was that? Amazing. Becky, you've just done your jump. How was it?
Absolutely amazing. I would like to present the Nithin Shore Rescue with this cheque for £421.
Wally, what does this mean to the Nithin Shore Rescue?
Well, it's tremendous, isn't it? Especially this year when we're requiring our new boat for Coast Guard Agency regulations. So this will go well towards the boys going and get training for the self-righting boat.
Is it important to you for the likes of the communities to keep donating?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's like Becky doing skydives, jumping out of planes. people doing marathons, people cycling, and local hotels like Steamboat and Nith Hotel, who supported us over the years with the collection tins, are having functions and donate the money to us.
So we've seen that the Maritime Coast Guard Agency have brought in a new piece of legislation which means that all independent lifeboats in Scotland have to be brought up to those of the standard in the RNLI. This documentary is focused on the Nith Inshore Rescue in Dumfries, and luckily they've been able to raise the funds for this new boat. However, the real question is, what will happen to the other independent lifeboats up and down Scotland who can't afford to raise this money, and what implication will this have on their local community?